Good morning, guys. Buenos dias. From the city of Ayacucho, here in the Peruvian Andes, in the Huamanga province of Peru. It's the next day here. I've had a good rest yesterday, and now it's time to explore the city. This city has been founded in 1540 by one of the worst people that ever existed in history, Francisco Pizarro. But then it got liberated and renamed by one of the best people that ever existed in history, Simón Bolívar, El Libertador. And the city, even though it only has a population of about 181,000 people, it is quite a small town, and not one of the most touristic ones, not one of the most visited ones. And even though it is not one of the most popular places to visit in Peru, it has played a major role in South American history, Peruvian independence, and we're going to dodge into that. And we're going to explore the city as well. So join me as we explore Ayacucho. And check it out, guys. This is the city's Arco del Triunfo. Check it out. Prettier than the one in Paris, wouldn't you reckon? First impressions of Ayacucho, by the way. It is a lot less touristy than Cusco. It looks a lot similar to Cusco in terms of architecture and stuff. I mean, it's also a colonial city, something which you expect, but it's a lot less touristy, a lot calmer, no scammers around, and also I'm actually feeling like being the only gringo in town. In my guest house, I'm staying at the guest house, taking a break. As I'm only staying here for 2 nights, I'm taking a break from the dorm life, the hostel life, because I've been sleeping in dorms now for over 4 weeks, so for a month. And I've decided that here in Ayacucho, in my short time here, I should stay at the guest house for a change. And I've got a pretty big room to myself for only $15 a night. It's pretty decent. And yeah, at my guest house, I'm currently not the only guest, but the only foreigner, the only foreign guest. And here in the city, I've only been here yesterday evening. It was Sunday night, but today and yesterday evening, walking through the streets here, I feel like being the only gringo in town. It's obviously not one of the most popular places to visit in Peru. Most gringos that come to Peru won't come to this place, to Ayacucho. There are many more popular places to visit. There's also many Peruvians that have never been here to this place, this city. But that's exactly why I chose to come here, because I wanted to see a less touristy, a more local side of Peru. And I have to tell you one thing, Cusco is pretty nice. I'm going to miss Cusco as a city, but I'm not going to miss the scammers. It's one of the most harassing places in the world I've been to when it comes to scammers. And here it's pretty calm. I haven't been harassed at all up on this point. And also one more fact about this city. It is renowned among Peruvians as being the most boring city in Peru. I asked about, whenever I told Peruvians about Ayacucho, about me going to Ayacucho or inquiring about Ayacucho, they're all saying, why are you going there? It's super aburrido, super boring. So let's find out whether it is that boring. So far, I can tell you one thing. I like it. I like it so far. It's not as lively as Lima, it's not as hectic as Lima, and also not as lively as Cusco maybe, especially at night, because Cusco has quite a good nightlife, but yeah, I like it so far. Surely not the most boring place I've been to in my life. I come from a very boring country, so for me to get bored in Latin America, it has to be really, really bad. This city, like so many others in Peru and probably in South America, is also sadly full of stray dogs, like this one. The city is full of them, and yeah, that's the sad part, the sad side of Peru, I have to say. Because in whichever city you are, you'll bump into stray dogs. The kings of the streets of Ayacucho. Hello. Hola. Good English. Alright guys, I'm now about to do a little hike, a little morning hike. I'm going to hike up to a viewpoint which apparently gives you the best views over the city. I like to go to viewpoints. I think that is a nice place to tell you more about the history of Ayacucho and its importance for Peru and South America. It's also pretty hot here, I have to say. Also last night it was a bit warmer than up in Cusco. Check it out guys, the streets of the most boring town of all of Peru, and another stray dog. Hello. You get impressions here. Sometimes there are more stray dogs, or as many stray dogs in this city as there are people. You surely won't need a gym if you live up here. Damn, I hate cardio. I flipping hate cardio. Fortunately for me though, there's a nice cold breeze as well, compensating for the scorching heat. Alright guys, I finally made it up here to the Mirador of Ayacucho, the famous Mirador from which we can see the whole city. Check it out. And this huge cross and the huge Jesus statue over there, which reminds us of the famous one, the World Wonder, which is in Rio de Janeiro. It's a mini version of it, you could say. But yeah guys, this is a good moment for me to tell you more about the history of Ayacucho. Ayacucho is the capital of the Huamanga province. And Huamanga had always been the name of this province. It is the name of the language that the people, the Incan people that lived here, spoke. And in 1540, the city was built by Francisco Pizarro. And its original name was Huamanga. It was named after the region. It was named San Juan de Frontera de Huamanga. And such was the name of the city for nearly 300 years. And it is still an optional name, a referential name for the city, Huamanga. But then, in 1824, something sensational happened for Peru and for South America. The city, after a huge battle, the Battle of Ayacucho as it is called, on the 9th of December 1924, was liberated by the big liberator of South America, Simón Bolívar, the leader of Gran Colombia, which was uniting the modern territories of Colombia, Venezuela and Ecuador. As the patriots of Gran Colombia and Peru united to finally defeat the royalists, the Spanish conquistadores. And on the 9th of December 1924, they were successful, just a few kilometers away from here, in Quinoa, which is about over there, on the other side of the mountains. And many people lost their lives obviously in that battle, but the result of it was quite significant. The Spanish surrendered, the Spanish army, the royalists surrendered, and this surrender consolidated in the independence of the Republic of Peru and the South American states. And 2 months later, on the 15th of February 1825, Simón Bolívar, in honor of all the people that died here to liberate Peru and South America from the royalists, from the Spanish conquistadores, finally renamed the city by referring to the Battle of Ayacucho, by naming the city Ayacucho. Ayacucho in Quechua, the language of the Incans, means corner of the deafs. Aya means deaf and Cucho means corner. Now you know how significant this small city of only 180,000 people is for Peru and South America. And this place, by the way, guys, the Mirador of Ayacucho, reminds me a bit of the Pueblito Paisa in Medellin, which is a Mirador place in Medellin like this one, from where you can see the entirety of Medellin, from where you get the best views of Medellin. And this is like a small reminder of, a small copy, you could say, of the Pueblito Paisa in Medellin. If you guys have been to Medellin, you'll surely agree. Check it out. You've got your small fun fair over there, which apparently at the moment is closed. I don't know, maybe because it's Monday. And here you've got your restaurants where you probably shouldn't eat because, yeah, if visitors come here to Ayacucho, they obviously come here, like I am just now. Well, yeah, flipping beautiful though, nonetheless. Check it out. The Andean highlands, the cross, Jesus, and the city of Ayacucho. And there in the distance, guys, you can see the airport. Ayacucho has a very small airport. It's only a national airport. You can basically only fly to Lima from here. And yeah, there is the airport. And just on the other side of the mountains is Quinoa, where the Battle of Ayacucho, as it is called today, took place. Now I reckon it's a good time. I'm feeling hungry, and it's a good time to get some cheap, delicious food at the local market, as we always do here in Peru. By the way, guys, Peru, in my eyes, has the best food so far, up there with the best cuisines I've had in my life. Best country for food, one of the best. Along with Mexico, the best country for food I've been at, and Turkey. My top 3 of countries for foods, my new top 3 is Mexico, Turkey and Peru. And the best thing about Peru and Peruvian food is that you get it for so cheap. Wherever you are in Peru, you get cheap foods, cheap, delicious, wholesome meals for under €3, for $3. It's incredible. Let's head back to the center of Humanga, the alternative name of Ayacucho. This might be the city in which I've personally been at with the biggest population of street dogs, of stray street dogs. Wherever corner you are in the city, you'll see tons of street dogs. Scary street dogs. Scary, scary stray dogs. I like animals, but I have to admit to you guys that I'm a bit scared of big dogs. Especially stray dogs. You never know what a starving dog can do to you. And here's another stray dog. Hello. Hello. Are you a Huamangan street dog? One thing I can tell you guys about Ayacucho though, is that it is true. It is a lot calmer than Cusco. But I think, I'm telling you honestly, Cusco is nice, but I don't like scammers. I don't like being harassed by scammers all the time. It's quite refreshing for my mind to come to a place like this after a place like Cusco. And so far I can recommend it. Let's get some food now, I'm starving. Well, I haven't told you guys yet about the deaf corner, Ayacucho, as it is called in Quechua, is that apart from being full of stray dogs, as you can see here, the city is also full of churches. The city is renowned to famously have 33 churches, reflecting each one of them each year of the life of Jesus, because Jesus apparently lived 33 years. He became 33 years old, according to the Bible. And here in Ayacucho, famously, there are 33 churches, which for a city of only 180,000 people is quite a lot. And yeah, here you can see one of them. So if you guys are into churches, if you are church hunters or something, you'll surely find something you like here in Ayacucho. I just love these authentic streets, this authentic Latin American scenery. Oh, and it's the entrance to the market. El mercado es por allá? El mercado. Okay. And we've reached the market, guys. Now let's get some food. Check it out, guys. A typical Ayacucho Peruvian market. Here in Ayacucho, you've got your chickens, your vegetables. Oh wow. Smelling this, I'm getting more and more hungry. Video. This market, guys, here in Ayacucho is much bigger than I thought. Check it out. Check out how many fake shoes you get here. This is like the fake shoe market. Check it out. Got millions of shoes here. Hola. And dogs, obviously. Check it out, guys. You've got everything here in this market. You could buy your whole outfit here. It is massive. I didn't think it was as massive as it is. I'm actually pretty surprised. It's even bigger than the one in Surquillo in Lima, because the one in Lima is mostly for food. It's mostly a food market. This one is also a clothing market. Check it out. We've got everything here. Wow. Absolutely massive. Hola. People here are super friendly though, I have to say. Wow, check it out, man. If you are a shopping queen, probably a fake shopping queen, then this is your place to come. Check it out. Wow. I reckon that my feelers are still in good shape. Incredibly, I've been wearing these for the past 2 years, non-stop on all my travels, and they're still in good shape. But if they weren't, then I think this would be a place that I would come to buy some new drip. Because I don't care whether it is fake or not. But wow, check it out, guys. This actually reminds me of Turkey, of the huge fake clothing stores. Check it out. Guys, here in Ayacucho at the market, I've just ordered the cheapest menu ever I've had in 2 weeks in Peru. This is the first part of it. A sopa, a caldo de pollo, is basically a soup which consists of noodles and chicken, and after that I'll have another chicken meal which is called lenteja, the pollo al horno. I'll see how it is, but the cost of it all, the cost of 2 meals, well, of the menu, the soup and the major meal, the main meal, is 7 soles. 7 soles. Guys, that's not even €2. That's about €1.70 or something, €1.80. So, like $2. Guys, when you come to Peru, don't get food. Peru ain't expensive. when you eat at these places, you could literally eat 3 times a day for under $10. Guys, when you order soup in Peru, always mind you that soups in Peru are always stuffed with loads of noodles. Man, if I would live in Peru, I am sure that I would become fat. I would gain so much weight if I would live in this country. But I'll repeat myself, in regards to food, cheapest and best country alongside Mexico and Turkey. I think it might even be cheaper than Mexico. I mean, when you only come to markets in Peru, guys, of course for dinner, these markets usually aren't open. These menu things, which I'm doing all the time here, it's only for lunch that these things are open. But, I mean guys, it's been cheap in Lima, cheap in Cusco, but this is like 7 soles. In Cusco it was 12 soles, or 10 soles. In Lima it was 12, in Cusco it was 10 soles. My trip in Peru, my 2 weeks in Peru, just got cheaper and cheaper. We started off eating for 12 soles, then for 10 soles, and now for 7 soles. Right, check it out guys. My delicious meal here with beans, rice, chicken leg and salads, alongside this humongous soup of course, with noodles inside, which I didn't eat all of. And then of course this gigantic passion fruit juice which you always get here. All of that for €2.75, so for like $3. No, what am I saying? For like $2, for €1.75. 7 soles guys, 7 soles. You cannot beat Peru when it comes to food, can you? Latin America in general, you cannot beat Latin America when it comes to food. Alright, let's tuck in. Let's tuck into the beans first. Or the lentils, I think it's lentils. Super rico. Super rico. So good guys, alright. I actually hate doing food vlogs, so I'm now going to destroy that meal and then I'll see you after that. Provecho guys. Alright guys, as you can imagine, I'm pretty filled, I'm pretty stuffed right now, yeah again. And we've proven yet again that markets are the place to eat out at here in Peru. This has been the cheapest meal I've had in 2 weeks in Peru. Because Peru obviously is a country with a lot of resources, but its main source of income remains tourism. I mean, this country not only has Machu Picchu to offer, obviously Machu Picchu is the main attraction, the most famous one. But apart from Cusco and Machu Picchu, they've got a huge coastline with deserts and the jungle. You can do jungle explorations. Then you've got the south with Lake Titicaca, which they share with Bolivia, and the city of Arequipa, which apparently is super popular among backpackers and travelers. So yeah, Peru probably is the most touristic country of South America in the sense that it has the most tourists that visit it every year. And Ayacucho, the city we're in now, remains a rather untouched place of tourism. It's not that anyone comes here, it's not that I'm the first gringo that ever came here, but I feel like being currently the only gringo in town. And I'm not even exaggerating. I haven't seen any gringos in the past 24 hours. And yeah, I'm also getting some looks here. It's the first time in Peru that I'm getting some looks like, ooh, a white man. Hello. And yeah, the city might be a lot quieter than Cusco and especially Lima. But to say this boring, well, I mean, I wouldn't stay here for more than 2 or 3 days, because then it could get boring. But yeah, it is not. I mean, people say it is the most boring city in Peru. I reckon there's a lot more boring cities in this huge country than Ayacucho. Well yes guys, Ayacucho might not be the place to come and party here in Peru. But to call it the most boring place in all of Peru, I think is a bit overblown. I mean, yeah, I'm not in the mood here to go out and hit the clubs, because I doubt that there are many clubs here in this small town. It's a more laid back town, but it's super laid back, super authentic, and yeah, I reckon you should visit it. You should put it on your Peru itinerary. You might not stay here for more than 2 or 3 days, but yeah, it's a cool place, a cool city, I like it. And I'm giving it a 7 out of 10, because there's more life here than I thought that it would be. I had very, very low expectations. La gente en Cusco y en Lima dice que Ayacucho es aburrido, ¿es verdad? No, Ayacucho es muy chévere, ¿no?
Tiene lugares turísticos donde puedas ir a pasear.
Sí, no es aburrido, Obvio, gracias. Another part of Jesus' life. Well, yeah, where was I? Yeah, Ayacucho is more lively and less boring than people say it is. So I really reckon that you should put it on your list, on your to-do list, on your itinerary when you visit Peru. Because it is not only a smaller version of Cusco, it is also a much more laid-back version of Cusco. You might not come here to party, but it is still a place I reckon you should see and visit. Because I like it. I like these small colonial towns. The Grand Colombian commander that defeated the Spanish troops up in Quinoa, close to Ayacucho, on the 9th of December 1824, and thus was responsible for the resulting independence of the Republic of Peru, was Commander Sucre, who you can see here. El Perú a Sucre. This monument, by the way, was built in December 1924, 100 years after the Battle of Ayacucho was fought. And I reckon that it is also a great spot to end this video here, in Ayacucho, a city which is definitely underrated, because I'm the only gringo in town, I can tell you this. It is definitely underrated, and it is less boring than people say it is. Yes, it is a lot calmer and a lot more laid back than Cusco. But if you like, I'm not going to say it's more authentic than Cusco. In terms of authenticity, it's just like Cusco. It's super Latin American authentic. And if you guys like more laid back, less touristy places when you visit a country like Peru, then you should absolutely put Ayacucho on your list when you come to this country. And also due to the huge historic significance that this city has, not least for this man, General Sucre, who defeated the Spanish and put an end to Spanish colonialism here in South America. And so guys, as I say this, by the way, there is church number, I don't know what church, but yeah, as I'm saying this guys, this is my last video here in Peru. I'm still here in this country for another 3 days or something. I'll be heading back to Lima tomorrow, and then from there I'll be heading to the next country, to the next adventure. And just like in Argentina, I have unfinished business here. I've not seen enough of this huge, vast and magnificent nation. There's a lot more to explore, and I'll be back for sure. But we've seen a huge chunk of it already. We've been to Lima together, we've been to Cusco, and we've come to Ayacucho, one of the only places here in this region of Peru which has remained a bit untouched from the tourism wave. And I'll be back in Peru for sure. And when you guys come to Peru, eat out in markets. You'll save a lot of money, and it's super delicious, super rico. And also, pay a visit to Ayacucho. It might not be a city which you'll stay in for a week. You'll stay here for a few days, 2 or 3 days, but it's surely worth a visit. And yes guys, gracias señor, gracias. I've absolutely enjoyed my time in Peru. from the first day in Lima to my time in Ayacucho here. And yeah, I'm actually a bit sad that I'm leaving, but I'll be back to explore more of this magnificent nation. With that being said, I say adios causas, hasta luego, see you in the next one, next country, next adventure, and viva el Peru! Apart from the traffic and the buses. Viva el Peru! Buenas tardes!